Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to this new webisode of Political Peaks. I'm Diego Romo. This past week was a huge one for Park City as our town played host to the first ever Mountain Towns 2030 Net Zero Summit. It was a gathering of business leaders, industry executives, government officials, and more to discuss how collaboration between these entities can bring about substantive and feasible solutions to the current climate crisis we are experiencing. Attendees got to hear from prolific author and activist Paul Hawken, as well as world-renowned environmentalist Jane Goodall and U.S. Congressman Ben McAdams, just to name a few. I was able to speak to Congressman McAdams just following his panel on climate perspectives from the federal level. Let's hear from him now to learn more.
A lot of times people watch the national news and they follow national issues, but as someone who served as both a mayor and now as a member of Congress, the ability for the average citizen to have an impact on the world and the community around you is at the local level. So showing up at events like the Mountain Towns 2030 conference, showing up at your city council meetings, talking with your mayor. Their mayors are accessible. They're out in the community. Talk to them, make your opinion heard, and you can actually move the needle. And if we're going to rise to the challenge of climate change, what we need is action at the local level at a global scale. As I said earlier today, the cavalry of the federal government is not coming. Climate change is not going to wait for Washington to fix itself. So we need action from people in their cities and in their towns. I think we should all be putting bold ideas on the table and we really can't wait to take a sequential approach. We need to put every idea on the table and just see what moves forward, what gains sufficient bipartisan support to move forward at the local level and at the federal level. I've seen here in Utah, as we are transitioning to a clean energy economy, more solar, more wind power, what's really accelerating that change is markets. As it has become cheaper to put solar panels on your home than to not, people are adopting that. And I think we need leadership from community members who want to do it because it's the right thing. That kind of builds the foundation. But if we're going to have wide-scale adoption of clean energy, it probably needs to be market-driven. It needs to be the best, cheapest way to move forward. So Utah is moving forward with adoption of solar panel. We have not only residential solar on rooftops of individual homes, but large-scale solar projects that are providing renewable energy to our cities and our towns. We are adopting wind power here. We are seeing clean energy vehicles and charging stations to really make it easier for people who want to move to that technology. We've had in the past tax incentives to buy renewable energy vehicles, and those tax incentives have expired, but we'd like to see them come back. There are federal tax incentives for that. So as the technology is improving and the cost effectiveness of that technology is coming down, we do have some government incentives right now to make it more feasible and quicker adoption. But we're going to get to the point here pretty quickly where the technology speaks for itself and it's the affordable best way to go. You know, it is inspiring to see mountain town leaders from across this country coming together to compare ideas and to show leadership. If we are going to tackle the challenges of climate change, it has to start at the local level. We will see good ideas come forward and shared amongst cities and towns, and the best ideas hopefully will see adoption at the federal level.
You can learn more about Congressman McAdams' climate-related policy stances on his website, benmcadams.com. And to learn more about the Mountain Towns 2030 Net Zero Summit, you can head to mt2030.org. That's going to be it for us today here on Political Peaks. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in today. As always, follow us on all of our social media at Park City TV and head over to parkcity.tv for the very best in community content. We'll have all new episodes of Peak Bites and Political Peaks dropping next week. So until then, have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.